This chapter was unreal. It didn't even include any characters that I had any particular liking to, and I still really loved this chapter. The ending of this chapter was hella lit, so let's talk about this fight because that was really everything that went down in chapter 143. So we have a Rappa and Fatgum ready to just duke it out like cavemen, and we also learned the name of the second expendable at the scene. This guy with the barrier quirk's name is actually Tengai. So it's good that we got to find out their names. I mean, it's just really a nice detail to have, even though it's probably not that important at the end of the day. Now this fight reminded me a lot about a fight in Fairy Tail actually, interestingly enough, and the fight I'm talking about is Elfman versus Bacchus. Now if you haven't read or watched Fairy Tail, no need to worry, it's really just a concept that one is the one taking the hits and the other one is the one delivering the hits, and it's a fight of who gives in first from exhaustion. Of course, secretly Fatgum had his trick saved up, which is the biggest hype about this chapter, but I'll get to that in a sec. Let's talk about Kirishima first, because he is pretty much struck with fear in this chapter after experiencing the power of Rappa's bullet fist, and we see how he is pretty much frozen in place from being afraid, even though he actually wants to help Fatgum, because witnessing Fatgum getting the biggest beating of his life is obviously not something that Kirishima is enjoying, but with that degree of fear inside of him, he just can't bring himself to move an inch. I, along with a few others, did hope for a flashback of Kirishima this chapter, but it seems we're not getting that backstory just yet, but hopefully it'll come soon enough. It would have been really nice to see just what Kirishima was going through in his younger days, like if he had a good childhood or a bad one. All we really know is that he really likes Crimson Riot, to the point where he actually picked his hero name in tribute to that hero. Of course, by the end of Rappa's bullet fist barrage, Kirishima does seem to muster enough courage to actually take another beating from him in order to save Fatgum some time. So by the end of this chapter, we see Kirishima getting knocked out of commission really hard. He looks more beat up than Tamaki, which is quite the feat, I'd say, given what Tamaki had to deal with. At least it's nice to see that the main cast aren't necessarily being favorized by the writer of the story to the point where they never fail. Because that's something that happens in some mangas. Even if the plot is really nice, the main characters are sometimes given unnatural levels of power just because they're the main characters. Even if it's a logical power-up, sometimes you need to know when to let the main cast take a big L and let someone else handle it. And that's pretty much what happened here with Kirishima and Fatgum. I am nothing short of amazed with this chapter because it was so good. Like, it's indescribably good. Okay, so let's talk about Fatgum's finale of this chapter, because this is where the real hype of this chapter is. So we learned that Fatgum can burn fat by taking huge attack like that, which Rappa kept delivering. So Fatgum ends up losing so much weight to the point of becoming, well, fit. On top of this newfound form, he also obtained a new degree of strength, as the power of these punches were absorbed into him, and he's apparently able to channel that energy into his own power. So we're probably gonna get some pretty cool fist fight next chapter, which I am very much looking forward to. I mean, this is like on some Choji level shit from Naruto. It could be inspired from that. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because while I may not be a huge fan of the series in its entirety, Choji from Naruto was a lit character, and if that is in fact where it's from, I've just got to give Horikoshi a hats off. I think I have to admit that Fatgum's got a more respect from me as a character than before, because obviously I thought that Fatgum was all about absorbing with his fat. I never dared to imagine he could burn away fat to become this powerful attacker instead of a defender. So to know that he actually has an offensive mode to his quirk is quite nice, even if he probably needs to have someone smash him up good in order to reach that level. Anyway, that'll be it for this review of My Hero Academia chapter 143. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and as always, if you did, please like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. This has been your favorite host, Perm, and I'll see you soon.